A very beautiful Wednesday morning to you viewers. You are on to the Superscreen TV News at 10. I am Kiruka Ibe. President Muhammadu Buhari has written the Senate seeking the confirmation of a formal legal advisor to the ruling All Progressive Party APC, Ms. Banire, as chairman of the governing body of the Assets Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON. President Buhari's request on Banire and others was contained in a letter read by President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, on Tuesday's plenary. The President also sought the confirmation of chairman and 12 commissioners of the Federal Civil Service Commission.
Dear distinguished Senate President, Constitution of the Governing Board of the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, in compliance with Section 10(1) of the Assets Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON Act 2010, it is my pleasure to forward for confirmation by the Senate the name of Mr. Banire Maurice Adeyemi, PhD son, as chairman of the governing board of the Assets Management Corporation of Nigeria.
The Senate has confirmed former Inspector General of Police Musil Smith as the chairman of Police Service Commission (PSC). The upper chamber also confirmed Clara Ogunbiyi and former Assistant Inspector General of Police Lawal Bawa as full-time commissioners of the PSC, while 4 other members of the commission were also confirmed. The Senate approved the confirmation after considering reports of the Senate Committee on Police Affairs on confirmation of the nominees presented by Senator Abu Ibrahim during the session.
The committee said, and all the senators from Lagos attended the meeting, and they gave full support to the IG, retired IGP. And on page 3, his CV has been analyzed, and the posts he held were mentioned. And the committee, after consideration, after almost 2 hours of gruesome questioning, the committee came to the conclusion that is very suitable for appointment as the chairman of the Police Service Commission, and so recommended.
The lawmakers also commended the chairman and members of the commission on the confirmation of their appointment.
I want to implore the Senate President and my colleagues that we shouldn't waste too much time on passing this motion, or let me say the report of the commission, of the committee.
Mr. President, I want to take this opportunity to urge this new set of the Police Service Commission to reward dedication and commitment by our police.
Distinguished colleagues, on behalf of all of us, let us congratulate the new members of the Police Service Commission and at the same time commend the quality of the candidates that have been nominees that are brought forward by Mr. President. It gives us also a lot of hope and encouragement.
President Bukola Saraki urged the new chairman and members of the PSC to encourage and motivate police officers in a bid to properly position them for better protection of lives and property. President Muhammadu Buhari has written the Senate requesting an approval of 164 billion naira to fund the 2019 general election. The president said the 164 billion naira requested as supplementary is to enable the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) commence preparations for the polls. In the letter, which was read by the Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki, the president urged the National Assembly to remove a total of 228 billion as reinstatement from the padded 578 billion in the 28 budget to fund critical projects. President Buhari further explained that the total amount required for the 2019 election is 242 billion naira. And President Muhammadu Buhari has assured of the conduct of a free, fair and peaceful election in Nigeria come 2019. The president, who disclosed it at the 20th anniversary commemorating the adoption of Rome Statute of International Criminal Court, called on the 123 state parties to support the ICC with jurisdiction over serious cases of corruption and illicit financial flows. According to a statement by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, in Abuja, President Buhari assured of his administration's commitment to the fight against corruption in Nigeria. And the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has rearranged a former governor of Edo State, Kanu, for an alleged fraud of 7.65 billion naira. Kanu was rearranged alongside his company Slope Nigeria Limited and Ude Udogu, who served under him as the Director of Finance and Accounts of the state. The rearrangement of the defendants before the Federal High Court in Lagos followed an amendment to the charges filed against them 11 years ago. The trial judge, Justice Muhammad Idris, dismissed the objection raised by the defense counsel to the amended charge sheet, paving the way for the rearrangement of the defendants. Defense counsel Messrs. Godi, Uche, Solu Akuma, and Casey Nwafo pleaded with the court for a short adjournment to enable them file a reply to the 126-page document and return to court to adopt same. Justice Idris adjourned till July 25, 2018 for further proceedings. The National Working Committee of the All Progressive Congress (APC) says it will adopt a direct method voting in the conduct of Osun State primary election in order to avoid corruption and monetizing of votes. National Chairman of the APC, Adams Oshomole, who disclosed this to journalists in Abuja, said all party members with registered cards will participate in the conduct of the APC governorship primary in Osun State. Oshomole noted that 17 aspirants are contesting in Osun State for the governorship election, and he urged other aspirants to support the eventual winner of the poll.
In order to ensure popular participation and to deepen democracy in Osun State, that the primary elections in Osun State, in line with the provisions of our constitution, which allow for either direct or indirect primaries, in order to ensure that the exercise is conducted by very competent men and women of proven character and integrity and who cannot be compromised. We have also decided to nominate a panel that will be chaired by the governor of Zamfara State, Governor Yari.
The Osun State APC governorship primary election will take place on Thursday, 19th July 2018. Some aggrieved youth of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC in Edo State have accused Governor Godwin Obaseki of alleged marginalization of some of the party leaders. The convening of the group of aggrieved APC youths, Tony Kabaka, alleged that while elders of the party were sidelined, the governor appointed foreigners into his cabinet.
Men and women came out for election to vote or to contest. Their efforts were being withdrawn. We have a youth that came out as a chairman. They will tell you, go, you have the right to vote, to contest. After you go in there spending your money, they will now say this is the person we want. These are all these things we want put to pass. And second,
Others expressed worry that the legacy of the national chairman of the party and immediate past governor of the state, Adams Oshomole, could be in vain if Obaseki fails to reconcile the aggrieved leaders and members of the party. They alleged that many of the party members and leaders who worked to ensure Obaseki's emergence as governor in the 2016 governorship election had allegedly been abandoned.
There was a lot of people in the streets that they didn't have jobs, nothing right was going on, and instead of him to have brought what he learned from America here to better our nation and our state, he just made it worse. You have to give them something that they can do. You have to give them a job so that they won't be wandering the streets, so that their future can be better and they have something to do and something to keep them busy.
Away from Edo State now and to Enugu State. An Enugu Magistrate Court has ordered the Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of Enugu State and the Nigerian Prison Service to produce 32 detained pro-Biafra agitators. The detained activists, who are members of the RAF Wazirike-led Biafra Independent Movement faction of the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, were arrested on May 22nd while parading through Enugu metropolis to celebrate the Biafra Day. Shortly after their arrest, the 32 agitators were charged with treason and arraigned before the magistrate court, where they pleaded not guilty. They were subsequently remanded in Enugu prisons, where, however, their trial has stalled since then, as the matter was adjourned on 2 occasions due to the inability of the police and officials of the Enugu prisons to provide them or to produce them in court. The recovery of 2 bodies of police officers killed by suspected bandits in the Gwari local government area of Kaduna State sparked protests in the state capital. The police command's public relations officer Mukhtar Aliyu, who confirmed the incident, said 2 police officers were ambushed and killed by unidentified gunmen. The protesting policemen shot into the air several times, and in the process, a stray bullet hit a widow who was pronounced dead. According to reports, the incident, which happened at the police headquarters, saw passersby running helter-skelter for their dear lives. An eyewitness also said the police officers that brought in the recovered bodies were angered that their allowances had not been paid for some time, hence the protest. Chief of Army Staff Tukur Buratai and other top Army commanders have relocated to the northeast on an assignment mission after Boko Haram insurgents attacked the army formation in Bama, Borno State and Jili, Yobe State, during which hundreds of soldiers reportedly were missing. The Director of Army Public Relations, Texas Chukwu, who confirmed this, said military sources claimed that the corpse of 10 soldiers who were among the troops attacked during the assault on Kwaka and Chingori communities in the Bama area had been found. The Army spokesman Chukwu said strategies had been mapped out to contain the attacks by the insurgents. Meanwhile, security agencies have arrested 7 more suspects in connection with the recent killings of over 200 persons by suspected Fulani headsmen in Bakin Ladi and Royem local government areas of Plateau State. And we'll go on a quick break now to bring you business news. Stay with us. If you have just joined us, you're on to Superscreen TV News at 10. And looking at business reports, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has inaugurated the Buhari cement and coal power plants at the cost of $350 million, estimated at 107 billion naira in Sokoto State. The cement plant, situated in Kalambina, Sokoto State, has an installed capacity of 1.5 million metric tons per annum, while the coal power plant is a 32 megawatts multi-fuel captive plant capable of generating more power than what the entire Sokoto State currently generates. According to the chairman, Buhari Group, Abdusalam Rabiu, in his remarks, the vice president said Nigeria, which currently produces over 40 million metric tons of cement per annum, was the largest producer of the commodity in Africa, and that the Buhari cement plant will further consolidate the federal government's efforts to be self-sufficient in cement production and a net exporter of the product. He stressed that the investment by the firm in the plant and others like it were a clear demonstration that the country had vast capacity and potentially for profit investments. The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN, has called on the executive and the legislature to amend the constitution to capture the actual date for the passage and signing of the budget document. The president of the institute, Dr. Cyril Ede, disclosed this in Abuja at a stakeholders meeting on the 2018 budget. He said while many developed countries have the timelines of their budgets captured in their constitutions, Nigeria is yet to adopt it in its constitution. In recent times, there have been disagreement between the executive and the National Assembly over the passage of the annual federal government budget. As a result of power tussle between the budget implementation has always commenced very late into the year. And still on business, Ethiopian Airlines Enterprises says it is in discussion with the Nigerian government for a new national carrier. Report says the Chief Executive Officer, Ethiopian Airlines Enterprise, Tewad Gabrumaria, was scheduled to have talks with the Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sarika, about the proposal of the Farnborough Air Show in England. The federal government had earlier said that a new airline would begin operations this year, with the name to be revealed at the Expo. Africa's most populous nation has struggled to support a viable homegrown airline for decades, with a succession of carriers collapsing or slashing routes. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASEN, has issued an ultimatum to the management of ExxonMobil to comply with the Supreme Court judgment of April 20th. The chairman of PENGASEN ExxonMobil branch, Razak Obey, who disclosed this to journalists in Akwa Ibom, called for an immediate reinstatement of personnel of the Security Department who were unlawfully sacked and the payment of all entitlement due as employees. Obe said the union demanded the management of ExxonMobil to immediately reinstate the 16 employees purportedly sacked in December 2016. And now we'll go on another quick break to bring you foreign and sports-related stories. Stay with us.
Before they come, they're supposed to, give us some information, notice, at least maybe a week or so. There was nothing like that.
Hunger is everywhere in Nigeria. People are dying every day, but Nigerian government are keeping quiet. Housemen are killing people. Why?
It's not what we expected because of these old men that are leading us, and you people know, you are aware that these people are not the right people to lead us. These kind of people that are leading us here are people of black mind. They just care about themselves and their family.
You are fighting my village. Let me use if I call it useless, I'm not a mistake. The other place where they build a shop.